What's up, everybody? Episode 3 of the Sports Spectator podcast. We are out here. It is Monday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's been a wild weekend. It has been a lot of stuff going on. But Juan, how you doing? You came in before it. You said we're really busy. What's going on?
Dude, you know how it is. Life of a podcaster slash professional. There's always something going on, man. I know you and we had a fun, busy weekend. Busy weekend in sports, but obviously busy weekend in all other aspects, man. But, I'm very grateful for it. I'm blessed for it that every single day there is always something to talk about, whether it's sports or whether it's something else, man. But no, overall doing really, really good, man. I mean, I got to say, I'm always super excited nowadays for Monday night to record these episodes with you. So yeah, man, feeling good, feeling pumped. I mean, ton to talk about today. Like, holy cow. It's actually going to be quite challenging trying to talk about all there is to talk about in Miami sports. I mean, so much occurred. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good. How are you feeling, baby? How you doing?
I'm feeling good. Same as you. Busy. I've been like ingrained in Twitter with all the stuff going on in Israel lately. So I feel like it's been like extremely heavy and like mentally consuming for people that are paying attention. And even if you're not, it's like a lot of emotion to take on and things to process and things to have to think about. So for the past like 48 hours, that's probably been a lot of where my focus is. That and recovering from our Friday night evening.
Yeah.
So, but I was lucky enough to have today off, Monday. I don't know if you had off. It doesn't seem like you did.
I did not, unfortunately. Funny enough, usually where I work, they're pretty good about giving us days like that off. So surprisingly, we did not get the day off. So, I was grinding all day, Monday, getting up, working out, doing all of that. Prepping an agenda, obviously, like practicing for all the things I wanted to talk about today. But like I said, dude, I'm blessed to be grinding with you. And yeah, like definitely a ton going on, not only in the sports world, but obviously in the world in general. Definitely hearing all those news up. To me, I was in Israel actually about a decade ago. So hearing all of that, it's just, man, it's tragic. But
Indeed,
anyways.
it is. I am thankful to have had today off. And on having this day off, I was able to complete my taxes for the year 2022, which I had extended.
Okay.
So they're done. A round of applause to the IRS. You're going to be
Wow,
getting
shout
your
out
money.
IRS. Big payday for them.
To the IRS. Big shout out. All right, but yeah, cool. Hope everyone else is doing good. Hope everyone else is going to have a positive week coming up. Our lives are okay. Your life is okay. So tell us about how good the Dolphins' life is, Juan.
Oh, baby. Oh, my God. I feel, whew. So anyone that listened or watched our video for episode 2, it was very obvious. I was very, very, very down that day. Big Buffalo loss kind of bumped us down into second place in the division, but we are back on top, baby. Dolphins top of the AFC East. Number 1 sitting at 4-1 in second place, Buffalo. And quite frankly, I don't really care who's in third and fourth in the division. I just care that we are ahead of Buffalo. So yeah, plenty to talk about, plenty to break down today. Let's get into it. Big weekend with the Dolphins. Absolutely crushed the New York Football Giants at home. And for anyone keeping track of this, we are still undefeated this season at home. Have yet to lose in the 305 at Hard Rock Stadium. But holy cow, baby, let's get into it. And I sincerely, I had to write a lot of notes down for this just because, my goodness, there was just so much to talk about that day. First and foremost, I don't know if anyone here is aware of it, but the Dolphins have the fastest team on record. That's not just me saying it. That is literally like the sabermetrics that pointed out. Let's see. I gotta pull up a couple of things. So, literally right now, if you measure in the NFL speeds, wide receivers, running back, literally it's all Miami Dolphins player. Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, they all recorded top speeds of no less than 21 miles an hour. So here's the crazy thing about that. And when I first saw that stat, at first I was like, holy shit, that's really, really fast. But then I kind of thought back to when I used to attend school back at University of Florida. So the speed limit on campus, funny enough, it was 20 miles an hour. These freaking guys are so quick that if they went and ran full speed on campus, like they would technically get a speeding ticket. And I know that for a fact because I had a roommate. He literally was speeding like 20, like literally a mile over. Like he got pulled over. The cop claimed that he clocked them going at exactly 21 miles an hour. You know, when the speed limit is 20. They're very,
Wow.
very anal about that. So I'm thinking if you put A-Chain, Hill, Mostert, all of those guys, they would all get fined, obviously. Um, again, obviously very impractical, unrealistic scenario, but that's how freaking fast these guys were, man. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm watching this game, like it felt like every play, there wasn't anything like a big crazy pass downfield. It was all of these very consistent plays where again you would see like Tyreek just kind of break and cut through the middle. You always see in motion. I mean, McDaniel loves doing that, just throwing Tyreek in motion. Tua with just a quick little lob downfield, about 10 yards, I'd say. But man, it's like it would just be the speed of these guys that they would just absolutely torch the Giants defense, man. I mean, it was unreal. I was extremely giddy. Oh, can't speak today. The entire time watching this, and man, it's hard to believe that the Dolphins, I wouldn't call them so much a football team, but rather a track and field team. They're
That's
incredible.
facts.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you got to see part of the game, but I'm curious as a New Yorker yourself, John. I know that you don't really love the Giants, so I feel like this was almost like a double win for you, where obviously the home team, the new home team for you, not only won but also crushed the other home team that you genuinely dislike.
Yeah, facts. But I will say it's a little bit different now. I almost feel bad for them. The Giants are just like not able to put up a fight at all this season. As like a Cowboys fan, I started the season completely with my expectations on the floor. I was like, I'm not going to get my hopes up whatsoever on this team. And then the opener was against the Giants, where we beat them like 40 something to 0. It was like a historic like win for us, historic loss for them. And ever since then, and their like continued losses, I'm like, dang, this team sucks. And so it feels good, but it also is just like, dang, Giants down absolutely tremendous.
Dude, sucks to suck for Big Blue
Sucks to
Man.
suck.
And they had a lot of hype coming in here, bro.
I don't understand the hype. The hype on the Giants was just like, it's to this day blows my mind.
It was I mean, like I get it. On paper, they look good. They got Darren Waller. He was obviously a stud on the Raiders. They still have Saquon, which, in my opinion, still probably the best running back when healthy. Daniel Jones looked decent all of last year. I mean, won them a playoff game. So, I feel like it's very easy to buy into the hype in the offseason. So it's just like, yeah, if I were a Giants fan, I would have deluded myself into being like, oh, yeah, this is it, baby.
I have to make a statement here. Daniel Jones is significantly worse than Dak Prescott. And I am not high on Dak Prescott, but no. Daniel Jones is a no. For me. That's it.
And that's saying something, man, because he sucked. He sucked.
He has sucked all season, yeah.
But we gotta, all right, so quick plug in. We gotta talk a little bit about your Cowboys then on Sunday.
Sure, yeah.
How was that, man? How are you feeling? Because
I was prepared fully. I literally, like earlier in the week, I texted my friend Joe Jack, for anyone that knows him. He's a huge 49ers fan. I was like, hey, I submit defeat already ahead of time. I'm already taking the L. I'm fully like ready for it. Like, go easy on me. You don't have to like go so hard talking smack to me this football week. So I was completely ready for it. And I was actually hoping for it because I wanted the tickets of the Dallas Miami game to go down, which they have not yet. Still $300 cheapest ticket. So, yeah.
Dude, that is true, man. I mean, I actually saw on Twitter today there was a clip of the post-game interaction where Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott just kind of went and dapped each other up. Oh, man, and just so disrespectful. Brock Purdy literally taps him on the chest, just like, facing him this way, like basically being like, hey, keep doing you, little bro. Like, if you need anything, hit me up. Like, literally veteran talking down to like his son.
Damn.
And I'm just like, bro, this is this guy's like second year in the league, and he's already like little brothering Dak Prescott, like one of the highest paid quarterbacks. Yeah. And yeah, bro, like he literally humiliated him. Like,
dude, when you put it that way, that it makes everything worse.
It is. It is. It's yeah, but they got their
That
teeth
literally hurt my
kicked in.
stomach when you said that. I was like, oh my god.
Hey, bro, we still got Tua. Um, Obviously, he's a Bama alum. He's obviously killing it. He is still the front runner for the MVP race. So, you know, at least you got two good teams to root for in that scenario. But yeah,
Facts.
I feel like in the NFC, it's you're not really making any moves unless you can beat the Niners. The Niners, the Eagles, the Lions. Right now, those are the big three teams. But
Yeah.
the Niners,
I spent a lot of effort and time talking smack about Brock Purdy, pretty much up until the Cowboys week. Literally, like the one thing I did say to my friend Joe is like, Brock Purdy still sucks. No, I said Brock Purdy will be the reason why the 49ers lose in the Super Bowl this year, because he's going to go up against like a more veteran quarterback that is just going to be a little bit better. Kind of like Cam Newton when he went to the Super Bowl, or when Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl. Like people like that. Like I feel like it's gonna be the same sort of thing. Everything else is perfect, but Brock Purdy's not enough. But I will say, Brock Purdy is just like smoking that John pack right now because yeah, he looks like a G.
dude. Yeah, it's. I mean, I feel like you're coming in hot with those takes, especially after. I mean, bro, 40 plus to 10 points. That's a. I saw a thing this morning where it was like the Texas Rangers put up more points in whatever game they were playing, 11 versus Dallas's 10 points against San Francisco. Bro, and that defense is just it's scary. And I'm at a point now where it's already so tough for the Dolphins. Like the AFC is so stacked, but I already have like I just don't see any team in the NFC beating the Niners. So if we crush everyone in the AFC, again, it's just going to be tough against them. I believe in us. I believe that the Dolphins
It would
could
be
do it.
the
But,
most epic matchup though. Like,
oh man, it would be
do they play in the
incredible.
season or only postseason?
It would only be we don't have a regular season game
Super
against
Bowl,
them this season. So yeah,
dude.
if we had to play them, it would have to be. It would literally could only be in the Super Bowl.
That'd be an amazing game.
Oh, bro, it would be incredible. I mean, so many storylines there. McDaniel revenge game. Well, not a revenge game. I don't think he left the Niners on bad terms. But again, McDaniel playing against his old team. Raheem Mostert playing against his old team. Jalen Ramsey would be back in the Bay Area. No, it would just be
Wow.
really, really cool. Just essentially a crazy high-powered offense, which right now, by the way, Dolphins number one in every single measurable metric that you can measure an offense. So like number one in scrimmage yards,
Wow.
number one in rushing yards, number one in passing yards. I think Tua right now is actually second in total touchdowns through 5 weeks. Again, against like an elite defense. I mean, shit, dude, that defense. You got Fred Warner, who's like without a doubt the best linebacker. You got, I mean, Nick Bosa, who's like he's ridiculous. Those corners are crazy. Yeah, it would just be incredible. But
It'd
I'm
be a
definitely
historic
getting.
Super Bowl.
I'm sorry.
It would be a historic Super Bowl match, I feel
Oh,
like.
dude, absolutely, absolutely. But I feel like I'm definitely getting ahead of myself there. There, we still got plenty of games. So reeling it back a little bit to this week. So yeah, man. Again, just had to pull up my notes here. Speed, just unbelievably incredible. But here's a fun fact. I mean, this has been the Dolphins' best run game ever. I mean, these freaking guys, like they just run like they hate the floor. Like they just run like they're angry. I mean, and I love it. And I love it. I feel like Miami, we haven't had a decent running back since Jay Ajayi. And I mean, that was already like 4 or 5 years ago. Man, and just to see these guys just absolutely killing it. I mean, Raheem Mostert, he's like 31 years old. Again, he's running on a mission. I mean,
Yeah.
all of these guys. I mean, I feel like they're just trying to eclipse like 1,000 yards running minimum. So I mean,
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
Devon A
Yeah,
Chain is nuts.
bro, he's crazy. He was a hidden gem. I mean, and we called it. We called it all during the preseason. We're like, this guy is going to be a sleeper. Get him on your fantasy squad. Bet on him. Like once he starts getting reps, he's going to be insane. And now the media is starting to see. But I definitely want to make that claim that TSS Sport Spectator podcast. Sorry, like I said, it's been a tremendously long day. The Sport Spectator podcast here we called it first that he was a sleeper. Just want to throw that out there for anyone listening.
Facts. 151 yards, 101 yards, and 203 rushing yards in the past 3 games.
Unreal.
Like, what?
Bro, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Product of Texas A&M. I mean, fuck Texas A&M. I hate them as a school. But
Holy
holy
shit,
shit, they
win
would
this
produce like
weekend.
crazy athletes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They don't play for Jimbo, but they'll play in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, man. So shout out them. Like, love to see it, baby. I mean, 3rd round pick. Kind of makes you wonder because we lost the 1st round pick this past off season. So I mean, almost makes you wonder, like if we did have a 1st round pick, like could that have changed the outcome of us getting it? I don't know.
Interesting.
No. But here's another thing that I wanted to point out that was interesting about the game. Actually, I was watching the game with a few people and they pointed it out. And bro, Mike McDaniel only wears hoodies on the sideline. Like, dude, it's still like 80 degrees when these guys play, and he's literally there in a hoodie. And I thought to myself, watching this guy, just like, yo, how is this guy not baking? Like, I'm hot just watching this game, and I'm sitting here in the comfort of like a nice air-conditioned living room, and this guy's just in a hoodie. That's ridiculous.
That is interesting. I had to Google it, and I'm like, yeah, he's literally in a hoodie in every picture.
Yeah. Dude, he's just built different.
Built different.
Dude, he's built different. Like, I couldn't do that shit.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe that's like part of the madness. Maybe like, you know, he has to be operating at a certain temperature in order to be like an offensive genius that he is. Like if he's sitting at like room temperature or something like that, like maybe everything's just not working.
Elite performance. Elite performance.
Elite performance. Dude, I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was crazy. I mean, because bro, I feel like I go out in like a t-shirt and I'm baking. Like you couldn't pay me to wear a fucking hoodie. And this guy's just out there doing it so casually, man. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I've gotten used to wearing pants here. Like, I'm completely understand. Like, I need to be in certain scenarios walking around Miami with khakis, slacks, one of the two, and it'll be 95 degrees out. And that's just part of the game. But the sweatshirt is the next level up. That's like the next tier of. Yeah.
Maybe he's doing it as like a tactic because I know last year teams complained that it was like a home field advantage, that the visiting side, they're like, oh, we're in the sun. And you know, Miami as a home team, we got the shaded side. So maybe that's like public relations precaution that he's taking. And it's just like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, I'm here in a hoodie. I'm way hotter than everyone else. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So dude, like chess, not checkers.
I'm gonna run with that. That is like the most factual opinion that you could have on this reasoning. Mike McDaniel is a genius.
Dude, he is. I mean, he's doing something, man. He's out there cooking. I mean, if like literally I could give the offense a Michelin star, I would, because it's just that elite right now.
I have a question for you. This is an important one, actually. While we're on the subject of Mike McDaniel, do you think Mike McDaniel has made contact with aliens?
Yes. And I think he himself might be one. Like, I think he just literally he's got like an offensive playbook that is like galactic at this point. Like, yeah, like when he has his headset on, that's him. That's him just talking to family. You know. Yeah.
Yes. Correct. So, yep, here it is. Mike McDaniel is an alien.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here. Sport Spectator podcast claimed it first. I feel like we should definitely give a disclaimer. If the Dolphins ever hear that, it's just like, whoa, hey man, you can't be slandering head coach Juan on your podcast like that. Full disclosure, we love Mike McDaniel. This is just trying to understand. It's like, how is he such a genius? That's literally the only explanation.
True facts. Yeah. Do we leave football here? Do we actually we can end it on University of Miami's loss? You see that?
Oh my God.
That was brutal.
So here's a funny story. A buddy of mine actually reached out to me and told me this, just because we were talking about the game. So obviously, in case no one knows, if you're not aware and you're listening to this podcast, how the Miami against Georgia Tech game ended, they were up, I believe, by 3. 30 seconds left on the clock. All they had to do was literally take a knee, victory formation, game is automatically won. So you know how on ESPN, obviously you can go and like see the win percentages, and it's just a graph that kind of teeters back and forth as the game progresses. But obviously, when it gets to a point like that, ESPN just says, "Oh, this team has a 99.9% probability to win," because they're just like, yeah, there's no way they lose. So apparently, before ESPN in situations like that, where it's just like, yeah, this team is going to win, they would actually call it and say this team has a 100% chance to win. But apparently they had to change that and kind of leave that wiggle room of 0.01% because of like potential stupidity. Basically, a perfect example like this. It's like you can't automatically claim that a team has 100% won the game because literally there is like always the possibility of a head coach, Mario Cristobal, doing something ridiculous like that. So that was something that they changed. But here's the crazy part about it. When they decided to make a change into, their webpage, their app, whatever it is that they were showing the win percentage, the reason they changed it was also because of the University of Miami. Again, same situation. They were about to win, did something completely bonkers. And because of that, ESPN literally had to change it to stop claiming that a team had a 100% chance to win.
Wow.
How wild is that?
That is wild. RIP Miami. That really hurts because I know you're a Florida fans, but I'm more of like a neutral Miami fan. So I'm happy to cheer for the University of Miami. And yeah, wow, 4-0 and just taking that L like that in a game they had wrapped up. And long story short, they were supposed to just kneel the ball and it was
Literally.
over. Yeah,
literally. Apparently, they're trying to save face by saying that the reason they were having the running back make that play is because they wanted to get him to 100 rushing yards.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, can you believe that?
Yo, pad the stats, baby. Yo, shout out whoever the OC is. I respect that. Where you're just like, yo, my boy, I got you with the 100. Oops,
bro. But like at that point, I don't even know who it looks more embarrassing on. Like, is it the running back? Like, did the running back kind of want that? I mean, did the OC want that for his player? I mean, was it a head coaching decision? It's not really clear as of yet. All I can say is I feel like that's just greedy. Like, if you're prioritizing stat padding, well, and this is assuming that story actually is true, but if you're prioritizing stat padding over your team's victory, I mean, bro, obviously I'm a Miami resident. I'm a Florida fan first, but living in Miami, I'm going to root for UM. Like, if they go to the playoffs, obviously if Florida's not in, then like I'm going to kind of root them to want to take it all. So to do that and like potentially have eliminated your team's hopes to making it into the college football playoffs, it's just like, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's tough. I can't wait for the Miami FSU game. It's going to be lit.
Oh yeah. That's going to be interesting. I feel like FSU probably will be favored.
Yeah.
If I had to take a guess, I would probably put FSU -6.5 to be favored. I don't know if the bookies have released the odds yet.
I agree with that.
But I'd probably say -6.5 FSU.
Probably. So, do we end football there and go over to another long spin Miami to the Marlins?
Let me see if there was yeah, man, there's I feel like I got a bunch of fun stats here. Let me see if I can just kind of shoot off a few before we pivot just for our listeners. Let me see. So here's a fun fact. I saw this on Twitter today. So currently, after this game, the Dolphins lead the NFL in plays to gain 10 plus yards, 15 plus yards, 20 plus yards, 30 plus yards, 40 plus yards, 80 plus yards. Like they literally lead in all of those categories. Now, the one that really stood out to me the most, so the Dolphins leading in 10 plus yards play, where they have 93 of them to the season. The next closest team has 75.
Wow.
In 15 yards, where they have 62 plays, the next closest team has 43. And I think the one that probably blew my mind the most was on plays of 30 yards or more. They have 15. The next team, the next closest one, has 11.
Wow.
So again, like, I feel like in the NFL, it's one thing to be like the best in stats, but when the gap between you and like the next best guy is like that intense, I feel like it's something special. But
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do need to give some constructive criticism. I think first and foremost, Tua needs to stop throwing picks. I got to be 100% honest. There was a couple of picks. I think I had counted at least 2 so far. And again, against the New York Giants, a team like that, we can get away with that. But if we're in the playoffs, if we're playing like the Bills again, if we're playing the Chiefs, the Bengals, these are the teams that you throw an interception in the middle of the game, they're going to make you pay for it. So again, it's still, we're only a little bit over a quarter way of the season. I feel like with 17 games, 18 weeks, it doesn't split out nicely. But yeah, pretty much a quarter of the way into the season. It's fine. We can clean it up, but really, really need to see Tua kind of not making those kind of mistakes, because in the playoffs, that is going to kill us, man.
Yeah, that the interception he made where he just tossed it off his back foot and just was like an open pick.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what? Like, what? You're looking like me out there. That's like some shit like I would do.
Yeah,
But
man. And it's a mental sport, and Tua's gonna, he's gonna get it together. He's big on watching film. They're obviously gonna work on that. But yeah, man, right now I'm just trying to take it 1 week at a time. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. It's a week by week thing. I mean, we have the Panthers. We have to crush them. I mean, for me to consider that week a win, like, we just have to absolutely demolish them. Because I feel like when you're a good team, it's good when you're beating like other really good teams, whether it's like a close game or not. That's good, but then you also have to be like crushing the bad teams. So I feel like for us to win week 6, we have to crush the Panthers. And the next week, we got Eagles, baby. And I'm circling that one on my calendar. That's going to be huge. I'm already so excited to talk about that game on the podcast. That's going to be huge. I know a lot of people from Philly, coworkers and personal friends. So when we win, I'm going to be talking so much shit.
That's back-to-back games versus Alabama quarterbacks as well. Roll Tide, Bryce Young and Jalen. Pretty crazy.
Oh, damn, you're right. Yo, it's
To a Bama tour.
Bro, yo, Alabama is just freaking dominates, man. Like, UF doesn't have a starting quarterback. Best we got is
Richardson.
Yeah. Richardson.
He's a G though. Like, I'm really happy he's playing so well.
He is, but he just got injured this weekend, man.
Was it serious? Like, what is the injury?
Something to his shoulder. It was nasty. He got taken down, and he just landed really bad on his shoulder. So definitely fucked something up there.
It sucks.
Hoping for a speedy recovery, man. But no, he's been looking good. Next guy from UF is Kyle Trask. But obviously he hasn't even gotten any playing time. But yeah, man, you're right. Like, back to back, Bama on Bama QB violence, man. Tua again.
Yeah. Yo, Bryce Young is so small. Watching him in the NFL is like literally. I didn't expect it to be the same, but it's pretty similar to watching. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot his name. The Arizona Cardinals quarterback,
Kyler Murray.
Yeah. He's not as fast, but like he's the similar height. I was like, whoa,
dude, he's taking a lot of hits to the head already.
Yikes.
And I feel like I don't think like defenders are trying to maliciously attack him like directly at his head, but I just feel like he's that small that when you just go for like a form tackle, you just naturally end up like hitting his head.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, he looked so much. This is it's not bad to say. He just looks so much more in ratio in college football. Yeah, I don't know why it's shocking me, but it's shocking to see like the vast difference of people. But I mean, yeah, it's college football versus professional football. So
yeah, it's insane. But yeah, man, trying to think of any other fun little nerd nuggets or anything that I've heard that would be worth sharing with our listeners. But no, man, great home game. Great win. Even though it wasn't against a stellar team, but hey, a W is a W. And yeah, man, on to Carolina. All right, baby.
Vamos.
All right. So I think that about wraps it up on Dolphins football speak. Let's move on to a lot of other topics. I think, John, what do you want to hit on first? We got Inter Miami,
I'll
Marlins.
just get the Marlins out of the way. It's over.
Literally,
0-2.
it's over.
It's over. It's been over. It was the wild card NL wild card playing game versus the Phillies, and the Philadelphia Phillies were like one of the best teams in baseball, but they just happened to be in the best division of literally the best team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. So whoever they were playing was probably getting smoked up, and that just happened to be smoked Marlins on the Philly grill because
Delicious.
yeah, they smoked us. But it was cool to watch. It was both games were in Philly, and the stadium in Philadelphia for baseball is lit.
Dude,
It
it's
was
crazy.
you could hear the crowd like how loud it was on TV, and I'm like watching from my phone with like the crappy audio there and watching. And it was unreal. It was a great game, a series to watch. Even though like the Marlins lost, there was moments where it was exciting. Like Jazz Chalsum is an amazing center fielder for us. Had some really cool plays, and but it was awesome to see and be reminded of like playoff baseball because it's fun. Like if you care about like sports venue crowd, the teams that are in playoffs like have some of the best. So it was cool. Fun while it lasted. And then, of course, Inter Miami, also done. 2 games remaining, but they lost the game that they needed to win to stay in playoff contention. There's 2 games remaining versus Charlotte. Messi came off the bench in the game, was not impressive. First time back, rusty. He's probably been having some vino and some pasta during his break. And so yeah, the season's pretty much over. That's what that is. I have some interesting things to share though. Besides that, because as the Inter Miami season is ending, then it goes into the off season. I just watched the David Beckham documentary on Netflix. Have you heard about that, Juan?
I have got to be honest, have not checked that out though.
So I went to brunch with some friends on Saturday, and they told us about it. And I was like, "This sounds like an awesome documentary! Like tons of in-game footage and highlights, and just about like David Beckham's childhood, professional career, personal with Victoria Beckham, and to present." And we watched it. And David Beckham did a thing when he came to the MLS. He went to AC Milan for better experience and practice for the upcoming World Cup and different international tournaments because the coach was like, "Hey, bro, you're playing in the MLS. No chance are we taking you." So there's rumors now that Messi is going to go on loan to Barcelona during this offseason and play for them and get more experience and practice. So that was a pretty cool rumor. I think I like it. I think it would make Messi happy. And if Messi wants to do that while still being, committed to Miami, which I think he would be, sounds good, right? As long as he didn't get injured. I don't know. What do you think with all that information?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think any time that he can go and get a couple of reps back in Europe, that's only going to help him, stay in shape, stay sharp. So I think it is beneficial for us. And I feel like anywhere he goes, he's going to be taken care of. So he's never going to be put in a situation where potentially he could get hurt or anything. Now, and I agree with you 100% entirely. I mean, you just got to keep him happy, man. I mean, right now he is the backbone of this team. Correct me if I'm wrong on this take, but I feel like we started off really hot when we first got him. He was obviously playing like consistent minutes all the time. And then obviously certain injuries started lingering. He obviously wasn't playing as much. And then immediately the quality of play started going down. I don't know if you would consider that an accurate statement just from what I've analyzed, or I'm sorry, what I've seen. That seems to be the situation.
Yeah, it's 100% true. And, I'm not too, it's for me, thinking extremely deeply into the sport and my perception of like how this is all operating, it's completely justified because, Messi came into the team. We immediately into this like Leagues Cup tournament where there was a dream and like an attainable goal. Like, hey, Messi's here. I'm here with my boys, Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets. We have the chance to make a run this tournament, win a trophy, no questions asked. And like, I think the whole team bought into that because Messi's like, I'm going to get this trophy. And it was also like very realistic to imagine. So they did it and they accomplished it. And I think the whole team really kind of probably knew at that point, like that's when it stops. Like now, the next goal, making playoffs, and winning the MLS Cup is like extremely difficult. And I think everyone realized like everything has to go perfect to make it happen. And then when things started going wrong, like with injuries, everyone kind of saw like, okay. And, that has an effect on our team because, this Miami team is playing against every team that we played this end of the season against pretty much after we played Toronto, was fighting for the playoffs. So like every team wanted to win. They're probably playing their best, if not their better side of football. So it is what it is. And we go again next season. We got a trophy. First trophy in Miami history, Leagues Cup. So it's an amazing season. And shout out to Messi.
Got hardware. So you mentioned Messi drinking the vino. Obviously, I'm sure he's enjoying his diet. So I want to ask you, just to kind of pivot a little bit, we're going to do a quick sentence here of what are the restaurants? I know that you go out, you've experienced a lot of the cuisine here in Miami, John. So if you met Messi and you had to recommend your top 5, if you can name them, your top 5 restaurants that you would recommend to Messi, what would they be?
Wow, that's a big question. I think I've got these off the top of my head. One I know he knows about, which is Cote, the Design District.
Is that how you pronounce it? It's not
Cote.
Cote.
Yeah.
Oh,
like a jacket. Yeah.
I
didn't know that until someone corrected me, and I was like, okay, got it.
Okay, so I think that.
Yeah. What's the other one? I would say Bacan in Wynwood. It's like my favorite Mexican restaurant. Now it gets weird. I'm sure I've got a bunch. Danny, do you have 2 others that you'd recommend?
Taco stand would be one.
Yeah, that's taco stand with Messi.
It doesn't miss. And I feel like Messi being, a man of the people and a man of culture, nothing's got to feel better after playing for 90 plus minutes than like a fat fucking burrito from Taco Stand.
Crushing a California burrito. Yes.
Exactly. I would probably recommend to him Havana Harry's.
I've heard about that, but I don't know about it.
Dude, you haven't been to Havana Harry's? Are you
serious?
I
don't think so. No.
Bro, I gotta take you. Oh, dude, it's elite.
I'm Googling.
It's elite. Like super fire Cuban food. And the portions are ridiculous.
Wow, it looks fire.
Dude, super fire. And I feel like it's still like you only really know it if you've lived in Miami for a while or if you grew up here. I was told about it by like our group of friends years ago. I think even before you were around, John. But no, it's a staple. Highly recommend then if you haven't tried it, man.
Nice. I'm excited. Yep. Do you have a third one?
I would probably go. I feel like I got Mexican on my mind right now. I would probably go with Coyo Taco.
Ooh, wow. You're getting both sides with Taco Stand and Coyo.
Yeah. I feel like 2 sides of the same coin, obviously both Mexicans, but they're so different.
And the high-end Bacan. Yeah. We got Mexican on mine for sure with Messi. Mm-hmm. Messi's Mexican restaurant recommendations of Miami. Tongue twister.
Dude, I love that. Hopefully if we can get this podcast to him, he can try some out. Because I'm sure, I feel like he probably asked people like, oh, what should I eat in Miami? Everyone's just giving him like the super high-end, like Michelin star, which like nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
It's like, these other like kind of more low-key places like, they slap.
They slap.
Messi, baby. You got to try them from time to time in case you haven't. Like Sports Spectator podcast, we will happily treat you and take you out if you just like.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah, man. So now Inter Miami, we're out. Marlins is out. So I feel like all we really got going on now is us Dolphins. We're hot. Talked about them plenty already. Miami Heat season. I don't think there's really much to talk about on today's episode, but yeah, season's gonna start up. Lot of headlines going into the season, so not really going to touch on them too much right now. But yeah, no, October 25th, first game against the Pistons. We have Panthers hockey coming up pretty soon as well. I'm sure we'll kind of touch on that as well. All right, John, I want to conclude then today's episode. I have an interesting segment that I'm curious to get your take on. So if you had to name, I'm going to say top 5, but if you can name top 3 or top 5 your current Miami athletes, who would you name?
It's going to be tough for me, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to go, Jimmy Butler is obvious. I would go Tyreek Hill. I want to go Messi, but like for me, he's just like he is such a part of it, but he's not yet. But I feel like I have to. So Messi. Honestly, man, that's the only people I really feel confident in. I could pick random names, but I don't feel like picking random names just to pick them. So that's my 3.
So we got John's top 3 solidified official: Jimmy Butler, Messi, and who was the other one?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Okay, good list. I'm going to give you my current top 5. As of today's episodes, my current top 5 athletes in Miami. I'm going to start off with Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to tell you why. Yeah. Let me explain. He whomped the Buffalo Bills this weekend. Okay?
Nice.
Absolutely crushed them. And I think secretly he might be, a Miami agent because he crushed the Bills, put them in second place in the AFC East. So in my eyes, he's a bit of a Miami legend in that regard.
Nice.
Shout out
I love
Trevor
that.
Lawrence, number 5 on my top Miami athletes, I guess, of the week. Number 4, I'm going to go with, it's actually a clip that's been trending on social media. It's one of the players on the sidelines of the game, obviously after the unfortunate coaching call. Literally the camera pans out to him, and he's literally just like, what the fuck are we doing? Dude, and he just looked like such a football guy, like hair completely sweaty. And I'm just like, this guy's thinking what everyone in Miami is thinking, like exactly what he said. And it got caught on live TV. He's just showing emotions for his team, for his city. So because of that, he gets my number 4 spot of Miami athletes of this week.
Dude, I gotta say, just to that guy was just like the facial expression of like giving everything you have, giving your most, and then just having it all taken away from you.
Exactly. Dude, you just things you hate to see. That.
Yes.
I'm gonna give my number 3 Miami athletes of this week. I'm actually gonna do 2 at once because they're kind of related. Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki, who now currently play for the New England Patriots, but they were current Miami players. And I have a running theory that these guys are so emboldened with Miami culture that they literally went to New England to sabotage them. Because New England is literally having the absolute worst season ever. And I think these guys kind of decided, we're going to go there. We're going to fucking suck because we love Miami that much. So because of that, I'm putting Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki, number 3 and number 2, my top Miami athletes of the week. Literally for that reason. And let's see. If I had to give a number 1 spot this week, this one I'm actually going to be like pretty honest about. I'm going to give it to Eric Spoelstra, head coach of the Miami Heat. Because this guy literally decided to say on record, we have a better roster this season than we had last season. And that takes balls.
Let's go.
Everyone literally said, it's just like, how do you guys expect to do anything this season when your roster hasn't gotten any better? And Eric Spoelstra was just like, hey man, you know what I'm doing this season? I'm divorcing my wife, which supposedly that actually is something he's doing. I'm divorcing my wife and I'm trending the narrative that our team is better. Yeah, we didn't get Damian Lillard. Yeah, we lost 2 players that played in the finals, but fuck you guys, roster's better. And because of that, he gets my number 1 spot of Miami athlete, persona, whatever, of the week. I might start doing this. I might start making this a weekly thing. But yeah, those are my top 5. Miami
that was the best top 5 I think I've ever listened to. Definitely in person. I've never heard a top 5 as well thought out and said as that.
dude, anyone who's helping the cause, anyone who's helping the Dolphins, if you're playing for a different team and you're helping our divisional standings, whatever it is, or, anything, I'm going to put you in my top 5 week over week. So I might start making this a weekly thing.
Dude, you're going to have like Miami local television networks reaching out to have you do that segment on their show.
Oh, yeah. Here, baby. Univision, Telemundo. What's up, baby?
Yes, dude. Dude, that was legendary. That's definitely have to be a weekly thing. Juan's top 5 Miami athletes of the week.
I got you.
Legendary.
Well,
I don't know really what else to say to that. I think you ended it perfectly there.
Yeah, baby. Trying to keep it fun, lighthearted here for our listeners. Again, we're a serious podcast, but again, we're just boys at the end of the day. You and I, just here talking shit. We love Miami sports, and we love sports in general.
Amen.
All right, guys. Well,
so shall we say farewell?
I don't know, John. Do you have any? What was that?
Sorry, I think my connection got offset from yours for a second, but now I'm back.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. No, man. I was just concluding us for today. Great episode, man. You look good. You sound good. Always love talking to you, baby.
We sound good. We look good.
Look good, feel good, play good. Or I guess in this case, podcast good. Podcast well.
Nice. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, follow. We appreciate you all. Have a blessed week. Ciao.
Take it easy.